All right, have a seat. The class is in session. Did I sound cool, like a teacher? Yeesh, tough crowd. All right, let's sit. So, welcome to your orientation, or pre-orientation, because the actual orientation is... Never mind. What I'm saying is that I'm going to teach you ethics. Oh, what's that look for? I can do it. I read Wikipedia articles and like 3 books. Parts of 3 books. Fine. I read a chapter from each book. I almost gave up on one of them because the language was difficult. But I read them. For you. I didn't understand much of it, but I did it. Let me prove it to you. Did you know that there are different viewpoints for ethics? It's true. One of them is virtue ethics. Wait, I wrote notes. Where is it? Okay, here. Virtue ethics. In practice, it's where one considers what a person who has good virtues would do in a given situation and seeks to emulate that person. So you basically go, what would a good hero do? And you do that. That's a good principle to live by, right? Although virtue ethics can easily slip into egoism when you're overly focused on the moral trajectory of one person. But it can be good in like singular situations, right? Yeah, another that I really liked was consequentialism, which is where the framework that bases the determination of what is immoral on the consequences of choices. So the moral weight does not reside in the act, but in the consequences of it. So in action, you'd have to consider what would happen after a choice you make. Although that does sound like an express ticket to anxiety, you know? You'll be paralyzed with all the ways anything you can do go wrong. Not to mention that you can't even judge the morality of your actions until way after the consequences have happened. Unless you have future vision, which I know you don't have. Unless you develop some under shadow dragons. No future vision? Aw, that's fair. Anyway, there are other viewpoints to ethics, like deontology and contractual ethics, but I think virtue ethics and consequentialism are the most relevant for our line of work. Also, I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce deontology anyway, because I've only seen that word written. Anyway, let those simmer in your noggin. Keep them in mind when you prepare to work for us again. Ready to move on? What were the books that you read? Were How Should One Live by Roger Crisp, Virtue Ethics by Richard Taylor, and Consequentialism by Stephen Darwell. I remember them vividly because I slammed my forehead on the covers several times. Yes, all 3 of them. I can text you the titles later if you want. Okay, next subject. Bam, the trolley problem. What's that look for? It may be a little overused, but it still works. Give it a chance. Okay, the situation is as follows. In front of you, there are 2 train tracks. On track 1, there are 5 people tied down. On track 2, there is 1 person tied down. There is a trolley coming, heading for track 1, which would crush 5 people. Are you with me this far? All right. Right next to you, there is a switch that will move the trolley to track 2, which would crush the 1 person. What do you do? I would use my abilities to stop the trolley before it reaches either of the tracks. You're a genius! That wasn't even an option. Thinking outside the box and using your unique abilities to your advantage? Wow! I mean, this is why you were our tactician, but damn, you're so smart. Also, super glad to hear that your morals are still intact. I think you're going to settle back in just fine. Okay, you nailed that one. I will tell that to the council later. What else do I have? I think I looked up some moral assessment tests. I'm gonna say some statements and you tell me if you agree or disagree with them. Is that all right? Awesome. Okay, first statement. I am intent on kindness and cooperation. Next statement. I am often worried that my actions are deserving of criticism. Next statement. I often have tender, concerned feelings for people who are less fortunate than I am. Good to hear. Next statement. When I see others acting carelessly, I think to myself that it is a matter of time before misfortune befalls them. That. Okay. Next. I frighten others to get what I want. Oh, okay, yikes. I'm trying not to judge, but well, there's something to work on. Anyway, next. I often help others without expecting anything in return. That's way better. Next. I do not feel guilty when I hurt or offend someone. Oh no. Okay, next. Oh no. Okay, statement. I use tricky plans and schemes to get my way. I thought you'd say that. Next. I feel justified in doing whatever I can to succeed. Right. Next. Helping others by doing good deeds is its own reward. Oh, okay, that's much better. Woof, I almost got worried there. Next statement. Oh man. I trick and con people if it is in my interest to do so. Figures. All right, that was the last question. Let's see your results. Add those to these and It seems that you are chaotic neutral, which is not exactly ideal, but it's not bad though. We can work with this. And look here. The chart says that you're 22.5% good. Even. That's great. That's a really specific number though. Where does that come from? Whatever. Okay, so that was the morality test. Do I have anything else? Oh. That seems to be all. But we can talk a little now, right? Would you like that? All right, nice. So, how have you been settling in at the HQ? It's been good. Everyone is so nice despite my betrayal. That's such a loaded word. I'm glad it's going well, though. Everyone is pretty excited to have you back. We all missed you. I missed you, too. 10, listen, when you left, it was rough for me. I missed you a lot. I know I keep saying this, but I don't know how else to express it. I'm so glad you're back. What I'm trying to say is... Oh, you're here already? Yeah, I was talking to 10 about morality and stuff. Ethics? Really? How did that go? I'm chaotic neutral? Don't tell them that. Other than that, Fuego is a good teacher. I feel more heroic already. Aw, 10. That is good to hear. How are your injuries healing, listener? Good to hear. Anyway, I brought the orientation video so you can watch that. And a laptop to watch it on. But I'm right here. I could just give 10 the orientation myself. Do you still remember how the orientation script goes? No. Thought so. Ah, you haven't heard. Fuego personally agreed to appear on the new orientation video. We rewrote and reshot it after your departure. We changed so much stuff after you left. I can't wait to show you all of it. All right, the orientation. Sit back and pay attention, listener. Hello, and welcome to Superhero Agency of Greater Lake City. I am Scarlet Fuego, the leader of Elemental Rainbow. What you're watching right now is a hero orientation training tape. I remember shooting this. I had such a hard time remembering the script. We can reminisce later, Fuego. Let listener focus. First off, what is the agency? The agency manages and employs the heroes, gives us our costumes and equipment, and... Doesn't listener already know this? We could skip this. Good point. The structure of the organization hasn't changed that much in 2 years. Skipping ahead. Now you know how we operate and how the organization is structured. Let's move on to part 2 that handles how your training is going to go. Depending on your powers, you'll take lessons under one of our more experienced heroes. Check out our hero dossier for tutor heroes and what kind of powers they can help you with. We also have a few personal trainers who can help you to get into good physical shape too, if you already aren't. See? We train the hero's powers now. Your training schedule will depend on the availability of your tutor, hero, and trainers, but you should be able to get at least 2 training sessions per week for a month. If you're falling behind for any reason, do contact one of our support counselors and they'll help you figure out a schedule that suits you. Other than training your powers, you will have to take our courses on ethics and morality, traffic rules, crisis management, first aid, social skills, and public speaking skills, PR, and talking to the press, corporation skills, and customer service. I know that sounds like a lot, but you can take these classes at your own schedule. You can also retake any of these classes at any point during your career. You can sign up for these classes through the agency intranet app. You can also study them independently and take an exam, which you can also do through the intranet app. Once you finish the classes and gotten a good grasp on your powers, you can contact one of our managers to figure out your hero name and get started on your costume, armor, and equipment. Now that you're up to speed with your training, let's move on to part 3 of the orientation and talk about you, what we want from you, and what you'll be doing for us. What you're going to be doing for us in practice will be determined when you get a better grasp on your powers and your preferences. If your powers are suited for combat, you'll be sent out there to do usual superhero work, saving civilians from villains and accidents. For example, if your powers are more suited for defense, you'll be assisting combat heroes and defending civilians. If your powers are more suited for support, you'll assist defense heroes, combat heroes, and civilians alike as your powers would enable you to. As a superhero, you won't just be saving civilians. You will also be one of the public figures representing our agency and supers in general. So while you're in a costume, we expect you to act with dignity, fairness, and kindness. That will give people a good image of our heroes and the work we do. Let me repeat. While you're in a costume, you must be extra careful to obey the law. Be kind to civilians and cooperate with authorities. Remember, everything that you do will be taken as a reflection of the agency and supers. You're not acting as an individual. You're acting as an ambassador and a representative. If you do something unsavory, it's going to reflect badly on the agency and every other superhero. That was serious, wasn't it? Don't worry. I'm sure you'll do your best out there, hero. Remember, while you do have a lot of responsibilities, you also have the whole agency and the rest of the superheroes in your corner also, ready to help and support you. So, with this video, you know now how the agency is structured and the people who work here, the structure of your training and what you're going to do for us. If you have any questions, you can send them to anyone on this list of people. We can't wait to work with you, hero. God, I had forgotten how cringy some of that is. I think you did well on reading all of that out. Why does Fuego sound so tired in the video? I've been wondering about that as well. The other elementals have commented on your lack of energy. but this is all I've seen of you. I don't know what to tell you. I already told you that it was rough when 10 left. I was a lot more low energy back then. I'm fine now, though. I see. Either way, Fuego, could you leave us for a moment? I'd like to have a word with listener in private. Okay, I'll wait outside. See you in a bit, 10. Now that it's just the two of us, listener, how are you? Good to hear. How are you settling in? How are your colleagues treating you? Good, good. What do you think about the new orientation? Is it any improvement from what you've got back in the day? I'm very pleased you think so. We all worked very hard on it, including Fuego. But the video isn't what I wanted to talk about. You've been back with us for... How long has it been again? 3 days? It's only been 3 days. But do you think you could start going on patrols soon? With Fuego, of course. You can't use your powers, and you still need to prove your loyalty first. Of course. Take all the time you need. It's good to hear that you're invested enough to do this properly. I have one more question. Has Fuego seemed any different to you? Changed? So you've noticed it too. Fuego is acting a little different than what you're used to. Yes, from what I hear from the other elementals, Fuego's personality changed soon after he left. Some of the elementals even say that Fuego was very hard to deal with. They were incredibly irritable and snapped at their team members over the smallest things. They weren't like that when you were around, were they? I see. Fuego is very fond of you, it seems. Keep that up, listener. Maybe Fuego will eventually be back to their old self. I'm just thinking out loud, that's all, listener. You can go now. Better not to keep Fuego waiting. We both know how impatient they can get. All done? What did they want to talk about? About me? Huh? Whatever. I lost interest. Let's get something to eat. Hey everybody, it's Hayakista. Thank you for tuning in on this fine Friday. And this is the third episode on this six-part series. And you guys let me know if you guys enjoy it. I might take a break on completing it, but we'll see. So if I release the other fourth part, then it'll be a surprise. Yay! But enjoy your day or night, and I'll see you guys next Monday. Bye. Bye, y'all.